Alright, I want to talk a little bit about slippery knots. In one of my last videos, I said that I make all my knots slippery. Maybe it's true, maybe not all of them, but most of them. For example, let's take a Bowline knot. I'm not gonna go into detail on how to make these. I'm just gonna get into the slippery part because I don't want this to be too long. So you got your Bowline, and yeah, supposedly it can take a lot of tension, and then you can just break it by doing this and pulling it out. But in reality, sometimes it's still a bit of a pain, especially with paracord or some thin cordage. So why not make it slippery? Instead of going through here at the end, just take a bite and put it in through same place. But then when you dress it up and pull it, no matter how tight it gets, you can just pull on the tag. Of course, in real life, you would use a longer tail to be safe. So with a longer tail, no matter how hard you pull on it, how tight it gets, you can always just pull it. Pull the tag and you're done. Now while I'm here with the Bowline, let me show you a couple of variations. You go, instead of going through here at the end and that's it, you could keep going and take the tail end and go, hold on, let me flip it. This tail end, you put it through again. You're following the end here. And it's nice, out of the way, it's neater, and you got more turns. So when it takes tension, it should spread it out more. So one more time. It's the same thing. You go through here, around the back. Just make it normal, like that. But then you follow this one. Follow it back and through. See? And that. I don't know what it's called. I've seen it in a few books. But I like it because the tail isn't sticking in here like usual. For example, I picked this rope because I thought the blue would look good in the video, easier to follow, but it's not keeping the knots very well. See this in the middle, and all you have to do is stick it down there. It's out of the way. Now another way is to do it Dutch style. So Dutch, but I like this one better. Dutch, instead of going through here and around so it ends in the middle, you go the opposite. You go around the other way, and then you go through as usual, but you end up on the other side. When you get on the other side, the tail end is outside of your loop. Now I've read that supposedly this is a bit less, it's not as strong as normal. I don't understand why, because to me it's just on one side or the other. So I don't know. And you can still, if you do it Dutch, you can still go through here. And get it even more out of the way. So again, but the reason for the video is I'm going to talk about some slippery knots. So you got your bowline, whatever you want to call it, and then you go through here, and then you put the bite through instead of just a rope. And then when you're done, you pull and you're loose. Very good. Now another real common knot is your wonderful clove hitch. I love this knot, use it a lot. But how to make it slippery? So let's say you're going this way, around, and then you know you're going to have to go between the cross. But instead of just pulling the end, you pull a loop, a bite. You pull a bite through it. That's it. See, this rope is not holding the knots. This is a pretty crappy rope. I had it laying around. And then, no matter how tight you get, it goes away. So it's the same thing you always do for a clove hitch, but instead of just putting this through the whole tag end, you just put a bite through. It'll be just as strong, but no matter how tight, because these can be a pain to, after that they've held a lot of load, they can be a pain in the butt to set loose. So you just pull and you're good. So the same thing with a constrictor knot. Now a constrictor knot is the same as the clove hitch, but you go through here first and you kind of make an overhand knot, and then you pull it through here, and it's much stronger. But again, if you want to make it slippery, instead of putting the whole tail through, you go with a bite. Make a bite, you go around the back, then you pull it through. Not the best rope. So no matter how tight it gets, how much load you put on it, just pull it, boom, you're good. So one more time just in case. For the constrictor, remember, okay, you get your bite. Remember, if it was a normal clove hitch, you go in through here, through the back. But since you're gonna do a constrictor, you go the other side, and then you get your bite in there. There you go. And then you pull. So same thing, constrictor or clove hitch. Now another one of my favorite knots is the sheep bend. So let's say you want to make a sheep bend, go around the back, and then you lift this one and pull through. There's your sheep bend, which is great for, it doesn't have to be a loop, it can also just be two different ropes. And the good thing is with a sheep bend is that it is easy to untie. You can just break it here and pull it through. But again, sometimes it can get kind of stuck. So same thing. Take a bite and you pull it through instead of the whole working end. And it's the same sheep bend we all know and love. So start thinking about how to make all your knots slippery. Let me show you that one again one more time just in case. You go through the back, go around, take your bite, pull it, no matter what. It's always going to be easy to untie. One more I want to show you is a taut line hitch. Alright, taut line hitch. I got this all the way over there to a tree. We go around. Now all the books say to do it twice. I usually go 3 times just to be safe. Then you go around again on the front. And you have your taut line hitch. Alright, so to make it slippery is the same thing. Just go around. 1, 2, 3. You can go even 4 or 5 if you want, it doesn't matter. And then, instead of going through, you pull out. Loop there. Man, this is not a good rope. And then, no matter how tight it gets, not a good rope. No matter how tight it will get, it's the same exact knot. It's just that you end off with a bite. Then you pull, and of course this one you gotta pull these out. But it's the exact same thing. Start thinking about making most of your knots slippery. I see a lot of people use a taut line hitch, and I never see, at least on YouTube, people that post videos on it, they never put a slip knot at the end. I don't know why. It is so much easier, and it does not affect the holding power of the knot one bit. I've been using it for years and years and years. No hardware needed for your tarp or your stakes. And this thing just stays tight. So there you go. Just to get you thinking of using slippery knots instead of just your normal knot that then you have to fiddle to untie, especially with paracord or bank line. Always make it slippery. All right.